Well, alright, friends, subscribers, and internet strangers, what's up? So, today we're going to talk about one of these myths that just needs to be gone is, can you thrift or can you source with another reseller? Alright, so the answer to that for me is yes, but the answer for you might be depends. And I can understand that. If you're doing RA and you okay, so there's not a lot of hiding anymore. People go, oh my god, I don't want to know what my Amazon account is. Oh my god, they're gonna find what I'm selling. Amazon last year in October, every account there's an address there. So if somebody knows where you live, they can find your account. Just saying, right? Have you ever sourced another reseller? Have you ever tried it? Do you have any experience? Or are you just talking from a point of fear? Because there's one thing I can tell you after doing this full time for the last 7 years is there's more than enough product out there to resell. There just is. You know, there's yard sales. There's yard sales in all 50 states. How many of them can you go to? We can't even cover all the ones in Huntsville, and that's me and Harlan going together. So you've seen a bunch of videos if you've gone back to this channel or if you've been watching any time. Harlan and I both find cool stuff at yard sales. I can tell you this. It is a lot more fun when you do stuff, when there's another reseller. Harlan and I, okay, so this year I'm going to do I didn't tape squat at the yard sales last year, and I apologize for that. I should have been more actively pursuing videos for yard sales, but yeah, that was my failure. But I'm going to try to incorporate some of the humor. If y'all understood how much fun and how much we laughed in the van or the truck, whoever's driving between yard sales, Saturdays are just a fun time. We have a blast. So yeah, so there you go. And then you've seen some of my videos from the Nashville Flea Market when there used to be a Nashville Flea Market, right? No Nashville Flea Market because they used it. I'm not going to get into politics. COVID has taken over the Nashville Flea Market. And so it's not been around since February. Will be a year that it's been gone. Okay. So there were 8 guys here from Huntsville. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 6, sometimes all 8 of us go. We all meet up, ride together, or follow each other up there, and then wander through this thing aimlessly for 3 to 4 hours, and then go have lunch and then head back. I'm going to tell you right now, the times that we sit there and have lunch, McDougal's Chicken near Belmont University is outstanding. And so we'll sit there and just talk about our finds and talk about what happened and just enjoy having fellowship with people who understand what we do and get it and don't look at us like either we're crazy, we have like an eye light right here going, they're looking for it, or any other negative thoughts. People don't understand. If you don't get reselling, you don't understand it. So it's nice to have that fellowship with people that understand. Okay, so where are you going with this, Beard? Where? So day before yesterday now. So but in this video, whenever you watch this video, it'll be a couple days before. I'm talking to Dusty, and Dusty's like, how come the girls are going to gallivant around town and have lunch and have drinks? Why don't we ever do that? I'm like, because we never say let's do it. He goes, all right, I'm saying let's do it now. How long can we be ready? And I'm doing my ship and I'm finishing up, and I'm like, I can be up there in like 45 minutes. And so that's the way the day started. We decided we'd run to Gunnersville, Albertville, Boaz, just some towns that way, and just see what we can get into. And at some point, there's a steakhouse down there. We're going to stop for lunch or late afternoon lunch and have some beers and just whatever. And so we are now I've picked Dusty up. We're just fellowshipping, having a good time, laughing, talking about whatever, and start looking around. Once we get close, you get into serious mode. Help find these places. What we're looking for, thrift stores. We're looking for whatever. There's a Goodwill down there. There's all kinds of stuff down there. So we were going by one, and it's a thrift store. I had never seen it before. It looked like it was an old business of some sort, and it's no longer there. It's on the side of the main highway. So it's a thrift store. Just like, you want to stop at that one? I'm like, okay, let's stop at that one. So we go in, and we walk in the door. There's some video games there. And Dusty's like, man, you're the video game guy. Go look at that. See, I'm going to look at other places. And so I immediately noticed all Wii games are $7.50. All PS2 games are $5. Anything above the Wii in generations is $10 a game. I mean, absolutely insane. There's sports games. There's absolutely nothing. There's not a Mario title. There's not a nothing. And so I start looking around, just wondering. This place has a big back room. So Dusty's picked up a couple items. And we go into a little silverware room, the room that had the kitchen stuff. And he starts picking up these knives. And these knives, I would have never looked at them. Never given them a second thought, nothing. And he's got the pattern, he's looking up, and he goes, I wonder if these are $1 or $0.25, because the sign said large knives $1, any other ones $0.25. I'm like, those are definitely $0.25. They sell for really, really good money. Over $20 a knife. And there were, I think he got 18 or 20 of them. So he's got a good score. Something I never was seeing. So I want you to understand that, everybody has this mental bank up here. Especially if you're a new reseller, you really need to learn knowledge of items. So I would implore you that if you know somebody, go thrifting with them. Get somebody with some experience. It's an easy way to learn when you see how another reseller processes a store and goes through the things they know versus the things you know. And so I'm like, dang, that's going to make me have to look at these knives and stuff from now just to run the pattern and see what's what, right? So we come back around, and I did not notice that there were some glass cases around the counter. Well, I did notice them, but I didn't look in them. And so Dusty's still looking on a wall in there. There's a car stereo that he's looking at I think it's an Audi nav system. There's really good money in OEM stereo systems. You always need to look them up, especially if it's a name like Audi with navigation. So he got a really good deal on that. He's going to make good money. It might not sell tomorrow. It might take a couple months or whatever. But you've got to have items that sell today, sell fast, but you also need those items that might take a couple months, but you make a lot of money on them. There's a difference in the way those items, and as you new resellers watch this and think about this, I'll talk more about this in this series that I'm doing for newer resellers. So getting back to the display cabinet, I'm looking down in there, and there's some video games down there. And I'm like, so why are these video games over here? And so don't make the mistake of just because it's in the cabinet and everything else is expensive, you've got to ask the price. And so I said, so how much are the video games over here? And the guy looked down and says, yeah, all those in that cabinet are $5. That was NES and Nintendo 64 games. $5. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to need to get 3 of these when you get a chance. This was game number 1. Anytime you see a gold Zelda for Nintendo 64, your spidey senses start tingling. Ding-ding-ding-ding. Even if you don't know video games, the gold is different than the gray. It should cause you to go, that one is different, and then anything Zelda is good. So, yeah, this one, you've seen the value. It pops up on the screen. The next video, I'm going to show you how to get all that off. They've written their initials here and here, and there's a old sticker that's got to come off to make this look pristine. That's the next video. So especially when you look in the cabinet and there are 2 gold Zeldas for $5 a piece. Right? Are you interested in the video now? Pretty cool, right? $5 each. I'm at $10. But I told you there were 3, right? What did I just tell you? If they're not gray, you need to check them out. Here's Donkey Kong for the Nintendo 64. Notice how everything, they're in great condition here. They are terrible back here. So again, one of the next videos is we're going to get this off and show you how I do that. I'm going to try to put the camera down and do it live. Maybe we'll bring everything in here and do it, because there's no room outside. The building's a wreck. And y'all can imagine that my building's a wreck, but yeah, it's a wreck. So there you go. Not only does Dusty get 3 or 4 things, but I pick up 3 video games that are worth, as you can see, a lot of money for $15. And this happened several times in several stores. You know, he would look at the stuff that he knows and he's interested in. So if you're new to reselling, and understand that the items that you like, you're going to be attracted to those kind of items. I like electronics. I like the video games, even though I'm not the most knowledgeable video game person. That's the kind of stuff that I will get listed. I like those kind of things. If it's something just because it makes money, but you don't really have a ton of interest in it, you need to make sure that you're going to have a plan to get it listed, because those are the things that cause death piles. You know, there's stuff that's got money in it, but I'll get to it later. Later never comes. Sadly, later never comes. You know, I've got... sorry to get right in your face. Like, I picked this up at a yard sale. $50. That's a good one. It's I think it's already been on the video, this 70D. I thought there was something wrong with the thing here, and so I started Googling all kinds of stuff. And it turns out it was in the camera mode it was in video mode versus the camera mode. The flash doesn't come up. Imagine that. The flash does not come up in... How do you turn this dang thing on? Where it says... Over here where it says on. I must have killed the battery. Anyway, it does work if you put it in the right mode. So I'm going to be selling that camera. So, alright, so that's what I've got for you today. I just want to show you these couple quick finds. And I also wanted to talk to you about a myth that, you know, everything has to be so secretive. My best year in reselling, I think, was 17. And what was interesting about 17 was that was the year my brother retired, or late 16, early 17, from the police force. He was a sheriff's deputy in Tuscaloosa County, Roll Tide, and he retired after 25 years of service there. And so we did a lot of trips together. You know, it was basically when we were sourcing for Amazon. He'd go check stuff in the store, I go check stuff in the store, so we'd be faster. And then we'd come back with baskets full or whatever we were looking for, and just split it by profit. You know, if there's 10 items and those 7 make the same profit as those 3, one would take 7 and one would take 3, or vice versa. Or if it was the same, if all we found was the same 30 items, he got 15, I took 15. It was as simple as that, and it worked out wonderful. It also means that, you know, I had a lot more fun because I was not on the road by myself, and we really had a good time. So I implore you to think outside the box when you're doing this. You know, look at this not only from, you know, but Beard, I'm the new guy. What can I offer someone who is like you? You know, getting to know people, and, you know, maybe you're the driver. Maybe you go, hey, I would love to spend the day thrifting with somebody. I'm not as good at it, so how about I drive and pay for all the gas? Or I'll buy your meal today. Let's hang out and just... You've got value to the proposition. You just have to figure out what it is. You know, maybe the person's a great reseller, but, you know, might need help with, you know, website design or something that you're very good at. You know, figure out, you know, you as a person have a skill and a knowledge point. Just because it might not be in reselling right this second, if you're brand new, you can still help someone else while they're helping you, and have a good time doing it in a day or 2 or a week, whatever that time period is. So I implore you to think differently, think outside the box, think about what your value is and what someone else's value, and how y'all can help each other. Because there's plenty of stuff out here. If we want to go look at my building and see all the crap, I think I'm a collector now. Since I haven't sold a lot of that and I've had it for a while, I think I'm becoming a hoarder. Confession time. Berry picker might be a hoarder. All right. I hope you've learned something. I hope I've got you to think. And if not, how about just a thumbs up and a subscribe for the cool N64 games I found, right? They're outstanding. All right. We'll see you in the next video. Roll Tide.